Hi there, my name is Daoud Miracle, and I am the co-founder of a branding and web design agency that we call Doing Good. We stumbled across your website while doing some research for one of our clients who does similar work in another part of the country. And we often do a lot of research, and in that we find sites who could use some improvement. And we create these short videos. It's pretty standard that we create these short videos when we find these sites, and then we reach out to them. And that's what we're doing for you today. And so forgive me for this kind of coming out of the blue, but this is common for us to reach out and help practices understand, medical practices understand how it is that they can get more from their website and solve some of the problems and improve some of the areas that their site's falling down on. And so let me start by saying something really positive is, this is a mobile emulator. And so it's really excellent that you've thought enough about the mobile side of your website that you have a decent mobile experience. And so applause on that. One area that I think is maybe potentially confusing is if you look at your URL, and you're probably familiar with this, this is your homepage. And we can talk about that more in a second. But what's a little more confusing is that if I get rid of home up here and I actually go to your domain, I end up somewhere else. I end up basically on a CV about Dr. Cohen that doesn't really do anything to connect your practice to your audience. And so a number of people are going to come through your site this way. And so really your homepage should replace, it should be what's called the index page of your site so that people can at least connect to what it is that you do for them. And so making that change, and that change is probably small. I didn't really look at what you guys are using for, what were you using here for? This is the code behind your website, which anybody can see. Oh, maybe I do know this. Is it at the bottom? Anyway, you're obviously using some kind of template. What's interesting to me is how dated your site feels. How even though it's mobile and it feels more up to date that way, the user experience here isn't really very solid. Oh, that's right. You're using health communities. So this is obviously a template that you've gotten from those folks. They're probably managing your site for you in some way. Um, if you're looking to compete with other, and when I say compete, I know doctors don't always think about competition so much, but you are competing. You're competing for the attention of people who want to become patients. And if they feel like they're heard and met more directly on another website, they often won't bother calling you and coming to your office. So just something to consider here when you're thinking about your allergy practice. So another thing that we do branding for a living, and branding isn't a logo. Branding is really a couple of things. How is it that your business communicates and connects with your potential patients? And so I don't see a lot of that here on the site. That's certainly visually, but it's also content. What is it that your site's communicating about how you can help people resolve those specific problems that they're dealing with? They're looking for solutions, and if they find a website that's going to speak more directly to their needs, their symptoms, again, the things that they're looking to resolve in their life, they're going to pick those folks over you. And so I don't see a lot of connection with your potential patients here. We get to patient education. There's a little bit of this here, but I've got to leave the website to go read other things. I could do that in Google myself. And so maybe having your own articles, having things that people are more likely to connect to, things people are looking to to learn about on their own. Having those things on the website would be a real big potential. And again, the second thing about branding, I mentioned the connection with your audience, the connection with your specific patients. The second thing is differentiation. How are you different than other allergy practices around San Diego? Um, I don't see any of that on your site. I mean, everybody does allergy testing. I know that they do different types of allergy testing. Maybe you feel that blood tests aren't as good as skin tests or vice versa. That's one way to differentiate yourself. How is it that, or maybe you use both. How is it that you differentiate yourself from other allergy and asthma practices in the area is really critical. And that's the second piece to branding is that differentiation piece. And so again, give that some consideration as you're thinking about how your site could improve. And in general, where are your patients' needs? Where are they found in your website in general? And so again, I've done this for almost 25 years now, done web development, web design. In our firm, we ask the question all the time, or make the statement all the time, I should say, is you and your practice don't actually need a website. who needs the website is your audience. So you should be speaking to your audience directly in a way that they can see the greatest benefit of working with you over other practices. Again, differentiation, but more in the sense of how can I identify myself when I look at your website? How do I identify myself and my needs in your website? And I don't see any of that whatsoever. The other thing that would be nice with our modern world is a couple. When we think mobile, a couple of things. Your telephone number should be tappable or clickable on a mobile device so that people can be one tap away from calling you as opposed to copy and pasting and moving through browsers and all of, going to their phone app and all of that stuff that has to happen. Just having these phone numbers tappable would be really positive. The next thing is Google Maps is, you're giving people here, so you've done this well. Giving people, the opportunity to get direct directions to your clinic, like you've done here, is an excellent job. But having that more readily available, having that easier for people to find, this sidebar throughout the site really isn't needed at all. If the content was organized in a more architectural fashion, you could get people to those directions more readily. The bottom line, though, is what I don't see is I don't see a lot of clarity in how it is you can help your patients, which I've mentioned a few different ways. If you did that more, you would probably find more patients coming through your website. You'd have a website that would actually be driving new patient inquiries, new patient appointments, than not. And so consider, take a look at some of your competitors around the area and see what they're doing. A site that we did just finished recently for a client out in Michigan. You can see what they've done with their website. One, it's obviously much more attractive, but we're identifying what the patient need is. We're identifying and doing some patient education right here on the homepage and helping people understand that maybe their skin rashes are a symptom of allergies as opposed to just an annoyance. We get into specifically into allergy testing and some of these things and spend our time really connecting to and identifying the individual patient and their needs. The really nice thing about everything I've mentioned here, because I know it's a lot and I know I'm speaking kind of quickly, is all this stuff can be fixed. We've helped many clients with medical practices, specifically allergists, with the same kind of problems, the same issues with branding and website design, and we've helped them fix them all. And so what we want for you is to have a website that generates new patients and more importantly, meets whatever business needs you have with your practice. And so what's next for us is, after you've had a chance to watch this video a few days from now, we'll reach out to you and just follow up and see if there's questions that we could continue to answer for you and kind of go from there. Now, if you don't want to wait to hear from us, feel free to contact us. There's information in the email we sent, and you're welcome to get a hold of us, and we can schedule the time to talk more quickly. So in closing, I just want to remind you that my name is Dawood Miracle, that I am a brand and website builder at Doing Good, which is our branding and web design agency. And many people ask us what we do. And specifically what we do is we create and build thriving brands with remarkable websites that connect to the best patients that you can bring into your practice. We'd love to have a chance to add you to our list of people we've helped grow their practice online, and we look forward to talking to you. So thanks very much for taking the time with this video. Hopefully we'll speak soon. Thanks.